One more very interesting example you took was Doubtnut. Would love that story, as you tell it in your book, that huge distribution, but monetization was not clear, and ultimately the acquisition was not.
Yeah, Doubtnut is close to my heart because it's in a tech space. Great founders, very passionate founders, and full marks and respects to them for what they did. They came from my education background. If you look at, and because of Tutor Vista, we understand tuition, almost 70% of the tuition time, personal tuition time that you send your kids to, is for clearing doubts.
Yes.
Okay, right? Therefore, it makes sense that if you are able to take that and get it answered, you can build a large business. Because in India, propensity of the parent to spend money on kids' education is humongous.
Yeah.
When we started Tutor Vista, back in those days, we did a research, small research. In India, next to grocery, I mean, house expense is not considered, assume you're living in a house. Next to grocery, education is where the parents have the maximum propensity to spend their discretionary money on. Second, same thing in US, it is 7th propensity to spend. 6th is on DVDs. Okay, right? So that is the level of it. So it's a great opportunity for Doubtnut, which they had identified. They already were in teaching business. So before they started, because of digital and internet, they started Doubtnut. Can we do? Hire best people and do that stuff. That they did exceedingly well, grew substantially. Okay, right? Huge usage because it was free, but huge usage free. Then they did one more very good step of trying to automate the answers, because again, you can apply the 80-20 principle. We had also done that in Tutor Vista earlier, because 80% of the questions are the same. No kid is going to ask unique Einstein type questions.
Yes.
Okay, right? Every topic you can take and you can break it up into what are the top 20, 30, 40 questions on that topic that can come. Okay, right? If that is the question, the answer can be pre-recorded, answer can be kept, answer can be spent, which also they did pretty well with the voiceover, with all of that stuff. Okay, right? Here is where the challenge came in. Okay, right? How do you monetize? And this is a question I have for you as a content creator and for entire creator economy. How do they monetize? Okay, right? So monetization is a question. They grew phenomenally because it was free, which is fine. And it's okay not to monetize initially. But somewhere the switch has to take place. It has to take place with monetization. And this is a challenge with many, many edtech. I know a company, it's called Reforge in the US. It's a edtech company funded by Anderson Horowitz. Okay. Great founder. Okay. Expert. Okay. Great founder. Challenge is monetization. Okay. Again, okay, right? Going through struggles and pivots and all that stuff now. But fundamentally very strong company. Monetization was challenged with Doubtnut. They were not able to monetize. Now the question came, when you have 10 million, 20 million, 30 million users, which is what they were targeting, those kind of numbers, how do you monetize even a small portion? Then they said they can launch courses. Okay, now, if you are going to launch course on your own, it's a completely different business. Okay, getting to solve doubts is different than launching your own courses. Highly competitive market. There are other people. If you are planning to go for a course, would you rather go for Alan or Akash, or are you going to this one? Answering a doubt for free is different. So this is where the challenge came. And obviously, you have heard all the stories about how they were offered 150 million by Byju's as an acquisition.
Yes.
Finally, they got sold for 10 million and all that stuff. But full marks, respect, and regard for the founders for all that they have done. But this shows an example of how do you navigate exits. A 150 million exit, provided it was not all in stock but had part of cash, would have been a great. That's another thing that people keep asking me. Okay, what is the right time to exit? Okay, right? Should you exit the business? How do you build a business? When do you start looking at exit? When you start, do you start with exit in mind, or you build passionately a business, good business, and after that, inshallah, exit will happen? Okay, right? So these are big dilemmas that come up. White Hat Junior is other example where they were exited at the right time. Okay, right? So I mean, both kinds of stories are there. This perhaps, in hindsight, the exit that could have happened when the thing was hot, especially because the monetization part of the model is not proven. Again, going back to my story, being a bald old man, going after core sectors, big pain problem where monetization is clear. is a lot more easier. But this is, hats off, this is a very bold way to be able to build a business.
We haven't tried it at Neon because we believe, our content at Neon builds the brand for the fund. But we are open to it. I'm not saying no, never. But
you have cracked it. You have scaled very well, and you got the numbers there going. And as long as you're not, drinking your own Kool-Aid,
yes,
and genuinely, objectively speaking, the fund benefits from this, it's perfectly fine.
Yes.
Okay, right? Because it can be treated as a part of the marketing expense. Because all said and done, a B2B service will only give you so much of money.
Yeah.
Okay. The potential upside in one company from your fund giving you mega returns will overcome all of it.
This.
In addition to all the challenges of not being answerable to anybody else for doing it, all of it is there. So I'm sure there is a logic that you are following. Okay, right?
Absolutely. But what I was coming to is, for example, in case of Doubtnut, and I think about it because I also knew the founder, and many creator companies in India started micro monetization. For example, if you solve one single doubt using AI, and that's what they were solving, a student can pay them. It's not free. It's 5 rupees or 10 rupees per solving doubt. And when parents have already taken out large amount of budget, topping up the kid's wallet for 100 rupees so that the kids can solve 20 doubts, right? It would take a genius for a kid to solve 20 doubts in one session using Doubtnut. But that 100 rupees would last the kid over a period of time. And if they had, obviously this is all hindsight bias now, right? But the microtransactions could have, it could have been a different story.
Yeah, no, so that's a very interesting point, because in Tutor Vista, when we were doing, I'm talking about back in 2010, people were really keen on getting doubts answered for a fee. Okay, right? Students in the US.
Yes.
Okay. And they would pay $1, $2. Okay, right? Really. Teachers in India working remotely from home are very happy to do it at that price. Okay, at half that price. We could have captured half that margin. At that time, the challenge was payment.
Yeah.
Okay, right? Because even in India, even with the Indian consumer and the Indian teacher, how do you pay a teacher? I'm talking about back in 15 years back. How do you pay a teacher 25 rupees?
It was not possible.
Not possible. You can't do a check. Courier the check is 50 rupees.
Yeah.
The check will clear after 2 weeks. The question needs to be answered now. Okay, right? So it is phenomenal. So digital payments, micro payment possibility has opened up a world of business opportunity, including the one for Doubtnut that you said. But I'll tell you where the problem is. This is where the business model thing is. See, the challenge here is consumer behavior.
Okay.
Free is fine. If I want to collect even 1 rupee from you, the friction that 1 rupee introduces kills the model. Okay. Just cannot do it. And this is important even in your SaaS businesses for pricing. You price enterprise level, you do free and do some freemium, but in between to collect that money is very difficult.
Yeah.
If you charge more than $10 a month, the friction becomes too high.
Yeah.
Okay, right? So this entire business of CAC versus LTV, customer acquisition cost versus lifetime value, goes for a complete toss.
Yeah.
Okay, in the pricing. So to a short answer to your question, 0 and 1 rupee are extremely different.
Okay.
You just can't do it. The effort involved in collecting 1 rupee, I would argue, is same as the effort involved in collecting 100 rupees. Okay, right? That is very important thing that entrepreneurs forget. Do free, fine. But 1 rupee to get out of it, even from me to get 1 rupee, so much of decision making goes through. It's not about small. You are logically right. Such a small amount. If the kid wants to buy an ice cream for 40 rupees, I'll give it. Yeah. The kid wants 4 rupees for a question answered. Is that really required? Can I answer the question? Yeah. Can I do it myself? Can't Google answer it? And today, what has also happened really, one of the reasons why I think Doubtnut was not able to raise money, if they had raised capital, they would have done, is because the entire ChatGPT business. Yes. Why do you require a ChatGPT can answer doubts and all that? So the investors' willingness to back Doubtnut when ChatGPT is going, and after that we have seen what has happened to Chegg, homework help company. 90% and gone. Down. I mean, Chegg was a publicly listed company, And it is an old company. It was there when Tudor Vista was there. We used to look at check and we used to wonder. And a great company, great service, homework help being used for all of it. They had cracked it, market leader, all of that stuff. ChatGPT came in and you see what has happened. Almost like what happened to Barnes and Noble with Amazon. So I think the ChatGPT thing, this. So you cannot be left to this 1 rupee, 5 rupee and make money on that. That's very, very, very difficult.